I ate his up. I cooked him. Now, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, he cooked me. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But what you stands is not gonna do it. What you saltines ain't gonna do is try to come here and be like, I didn't affect him. Stop it. Because that shows that y'all ain't real hip hop fans. Look at Eminem's life. Eminem's been sheltered his whole life with security. So Eminem probably got mad anxiety. He probably can't even be by himself and walk through a mall. You can catch me at the most craziest gas station in any hood in America. He'd be like, that you, Zeno? Somebody, yo, let me get that picture. Yeah.
Let me tell you, his fans, bro, his fans like him because he's white. They don't fuck with us. Let me try to make fuck Eminem. I dusted Eminem. Rap Elvis, bitch. Yeah.
Fucking with my blood, about to whip shit. I'ma see some niggas on my neck.
It's 2025 and Benzino still out here throwing shots at Eminem, desperate for a reaction. But man, he ain't said a single word about Zeno since Doomsday Part 2 dropped. Now Benzino out here claiming M used him for clout, built his whole street cred off their early 2000s beef, and then tossed him aside like yesterday's trash. According to Zeno, he's the reason Eminem was ever seen as controversial, raw, or even real. But let's be real, yeah, their beef shook the game back in the day. But M dropped the sauce, nailed the coffin shut, and then kept it moving. He went on to star in 8 Mile, win an Oscar, and straight up dominate the 2000s. By the way, if you're new here, make sure you smash that like, drop a comment, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next twist in this crazy saga. Cause trust me, it's only getting wilder from here. Meanwhile, Benzino lost his grip on the culture a long time ago.
Posting about it, and I'm like, this nigga really, he really fuck with Zeno, huh? I mean, what you should be doing, Kurt, is explaining to little Bruce Leroy while Sleeves and Diddy and a bunch of niggas was slutting a rap. I think you're gonna have to owe him an explanation when he gets older. Don't act like we ain't see you on the beach with your Bugs Bunny T-plate with the camera taking pictures, yeah. You was in your feelings, huh? Nah, Curtis, it's not a good look. But I tell you what, though. The boxing challenge still there, Curtis, for the celebrity. I'm down to make a couple of M's. I'll go 3 rounds with your goofy ass. That's number 1.
Look at Eminem's life. Eminem's been sheltered his whole life with security. So Eminem probably got mad anxiety. He probably can't even be by himself and walk through a mall. Of course, I'm sure he would get mobbed, but just feeling safe. Like his whole life he's been
This is in Boston or something like that. How did everybody feel about that?
Nobody paid attention to that.
Right.
Eminem did not grow up gangster, and Eminem knows that. Eminem.
But he still walks around like he's the main character. And while M stays completely unbothered by all that barking, somebody else decided to step in, and you already know who it is. Yep, M's day one, his ride or die, 50 Cent. Fifth slid onto Instagram just to clown Benzino, and now the two of them are going back and forth trading jabs online. Meanwhile, M is probably somewhere scribbling rhymes, laughing his head off at the whole circus, so let's break it down. What exactly did Benzino say, how 50 stirred the pot all over again, and why Eminem's silence might just be the loudest diss of them all? So here's how it went down. Benzino just dropped a new freestyle and the internet been roasting him non-stop, and you already know 50 wasn't about to let that slide. He snatched the clip, threw it up on his X account, and hit it with a savage caption like, "Yo, this the worst ish I heard all year. The F wrong with him? He's 60 years old, bro. Nah, this ain't it." Of course, Benzino couldn't resist biting the bait. He fired back quick, taking shots at 50's ex Daphne over her alleged ties with Diddy. And then, because Zeno can't stay out the drama if his life depended on it, he went and challenged 50 to a straight-up boxing match. If you're wondering why 50 even bothers roasting Benzino, it really comes down to one thing: loyalty. One thing about Fifth, he gon' ride for his people with zero hesitation. And at the very top of that list sits Eminem. Let's not forget, M was the one who took a massive gamble on 50 when the whole industry wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. That kind of loyalty, that's forever. So when Benzino came for M back in the early 2000s, he stamped himself as a lifetime enemy in 50's book, and just recently, Zeno tried to reignite that old fire, calling Eminem sheltered and claiming the man won't even step outside without a full security squad. Meanwhile, he's out here bragging like he can roll solo anywhere, no problem, like he's some kind of untouchable. Now here's the thing, Benzino ain't wrong when he says Eminem didn't grow up gangster, but here's the catch, M never once claimed he did. So really, Zeno's shots ain't even landing. And the craziest part, he's right back at it, tossing shade like the receipts don't exist. Let's not forget, just last year on Drink Champ, this same man was literally in tears talking about Eminem, practically begging for a face-to-face sit-down to squash the beef once and for all. But fast forward to now, and he's back swinging like that moment never even happened. Fast forward to now, and Benzino is right back on his old antics, trolling both Eminem and 50 like it's 2003 all over again. But to really get why these two been locked in this feud for decades, we gotta rewind to 2002. That's when Eminem dropped his fourth studio album, The Eminem Show. The Source magazine, co-founded by Benzino, slapped it with a 4 out of 5 mics rating. M felt it deserved a perfect score, so he started firing shots at The Source and Benzino directly. According to M, the only reason he didn't get 5 mics was because he's white, and that's when the gloves came off. Benzino clapped back, calling Eminem a culture vulture. Then he doubled down on his diss track, Pull Your Skirt Up, claiming M's race was the only reason for his success. Zeno rapped, 5 shades darker, mother, you be cannabis. No one would care about your complicated rhyme style.
Against Eminem. Got nothing against Eminem. Eminem can rap, but I care about us more. I don't want to go through, I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want. For 22 years, every time I do an interview, they ask me about Eminem. The fuck you want me to do? Come on, man. My daughter came into the industry figuring that, hey, I gotta be cool with Eminem because everybody's against my dad. You think this shit is fucking cool? Nah, man. We're failing as a people. I don't hate Eminem. I don't know him to hate him. I don't hate white people. Tired of this shit, man. It's just too much. I don't want to be the bad guy. I got an 8-year-old son that I dropped off at school this morning. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm all right. I don't want my DMs filled with, I've had 9 pages knocked down, 1 million. White people think, I love all people. Come on, man. All me and Eminem got to do is sit down and talk with each other. Let's sit down and talk. Let's battle, let's do whatever. But let's at least face to face meet each other.
If that was to happen, would you give him a 5?
Fuck it, man. I'd hug him.
What you know about pumping on the block till you freeze? What you know about cutting up rocks, ducking D's? What you know about facing a grand jury indictment? As far as I'm concerned, you're just industry excitement. Later on, Benzino tried to walk his stance back a little, telling MTV, I had a problem with the machine, with the double standard in hip-hop. Certain media outlets take to him and look at him as this savior in hip-hop, the #1 in the game, but they don't recognize the guys out here who actually created hip-hop. Eminem is just the hood ornament for the machine. You think I could grab my crotch and put my ass in people's faces the way he does? No way. But as long as the color of his skin and his eyes fits what America wants, it's all right. And on Pull Your Skirt Up, Benzino even went as far as to claim Eminem ran to his manager, Paul Rosenberg, begging him to step in and handle the beef. But M clapped back with not 1, but 4 diss tracks, shutting that narrative down and denying he ever asked his team to squash it. In response, Benzino fired off Die Another Day and even leaked a phone call between himself and Paul Rosenberg, trying to prove his point and keep the feud alive. But Benzino didn't just keep this beef on wax, he crossed a line that most in hip-hop consider untouchable. He went after Eminem's daughter, Haley, and not just a quick mention, he flat out threatened her, making a disturbing reference to JonBenet Ramsey, the child beauty queen tragically murdered at just 6 years old. On his track Die Another Day, Benzino rapped, "Tell Haley it ain't safe no more, daddy better watch your back at the candy store, you messed up, resort to plan B, mess around, she end up like JonBenet Ramsey." That bar sent shockwaves through the culture, with many saying Zeno had officially gone way too far, but instead of backing down, he doubled down, claiming he was just giving M a taste of his own medicine. He pointed to M's earlier diss The Sauce, where Slim took aim at Benzino's son, Ray, spitting, "Here's a poster of Ray and his dad. You want to talk about something you don't know about? Yeah, let's talk about how you're putting your own son out there to try to eat off him because you missed your boat now." And that right there is the never-ending cycle of Benzino versus Eminem, 2 decades deep and still making headlines. But at this point, M don't even gotta say a word. His silence speaks louder than any diss track ever could, while 50 keeps doing what 50 does best, clowning the opposition. Meanwhile, Zeno stays stuck in the past, chasing relevance that slipped away years ago. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment on whose side you're on, and don't forget to subscribe for more hip-hop drama and deep dives. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.